CFR Network, CFR News. Thank yourself for surviving the zombie apocalypse. And secondly, thank yourself for tuning into this here broadcast. Brendan Schaub, former mixed martial artist, 15 and was it 15? Was he? 10 and 5 records. Podcaster. I guess you could call him an entrepreneur. He has the moniker and title as comedian, thanks to his longtime buddy and mentor, Mr. Joe Rogan. As you can see, I mean, this came out of the blue for me, at least. I consume bits and pieces of said content, but as per the Quartering, who has broken this down quite eloquently, Mr. Oh, should we use the terminology Mrs. Brenda Schaub has done like a 180 in regards to his stance on things, it would seem. But if you have consumed any piece of his personal content or been on JRE, you would know that Mr. Schaub or Mrs. Schaub bends like a blade of grass in the wind and can flip-flop from time to time in regards to his opinion. So before we get into the crazy stuff, the weird stuff, I would say that the bullying and using status and access to money to bully smaller YouTubers. Now I'm going to unpack this. Before I do so, go and check out the sponsor, Supreme of the UK. Check out the apparel, the wares, and definitely support that sponsor. So let's get into it. 83 baby. So he should have some wisdom on him, you know, born in 1983, Colorado, Aurora. What did he? Lacrosse, American football. Then he stumbled into the tough season. I can't remember which tough he was on. Heavyweight, obviously, big guy. And, you know, had a okay kind of career. Wasn't the most gifted, but did have had an excellent win over an aging Mirko Krokop. And the infamous conversation with Mr. Rogan, aka Ho Hogan, where it was quite cringy. I think Joe, obviously we don't know the dynamic of their relationship. Possibly this conversation may have had or may have taken place, should we say, in private, and maybe Mr. Schaub didn't heed the warning or the advice. So Mr. Rogan said, you know what, I'm going to pull it out in public domain and we're going to have this kind of, it was an uncomfortable conversation, which led Mr. Schaub to then leave MMA totally and pursue a comedic career. And with the help of Mr. Rogan, managed to bag himself a Netflix special. I mean, as I say, I don't consume lots of the content of this person. I find him quite entertaining. Initially, I thought he was quite harmless, to be fair. But the more and more you consume and, you know, really analyze a content creator as he's become, you either enjoy and agree, and you're not going to agree with everything, or you start to see that this person initially seemed quite genuine, I would say, Could be a little wishy-washy, but as I say, the more and more you listen to this guy, he's all over the place, especially with the when it comes to the previews and then the post-fight stuff. He it's entertaining. It really is entertaining, and looking at the comments is, I mean, at one point I used to just go over to just read the comments because they was just so entertaining. Um, and some of his insights were pretty cool, but yeah. And as a result, so this is where we get to this moronic, wicked lawsuit, frivolous lawsuit, I might add as well. So, as a result of him being a public figure, him creating content, as many people do on YouTube, and as he does on his own show, and as many people do, if you see some content and you want to talk about it, there is something called fair use. So on Brendan Schaub, so after he does the Schaub, was it the Schaub show, Thick Boy Productions and all this stuff, which congratulate him for his the visual appearance of his new set and all that. No longer with Showtime, etc. I I'm happy for his success, but looking at the microcosm and looking at the detail and listening to some of his fellow comedians and MMA fighters and just people in general, Mr. Sharp doesn't seem to be the most upright person. Stealing people's jokes. You know, multiple jokes as well, and remixing them. And I think there is creative license to that sort of stuff. But it's weird. I don't personally find his comedic style funny. I haven't sat through a whole set, quote unquote, but the bits and pieces I've seen, yeah, wasn't the best. Wasn't the best. So a little small YouTuber, larger than myself, but small in comparison to the alleged numbers that you see on his social medias, which doesn't necessarily reflect in regards to the engagement on social media or on YouTube. So that's the first alarm bell. And I wouldn't say that his show is controversial at all, where it would be shadow banned. So this is a totally free channel and social media platforms where this guy is producing content. He's putting all of his family out there as well, which, in my humble opinion, you should be, if you're in the public eye, you should only be in the public eye. I don't think you should be putting your family out there like that in this strange social media weird world that we are living in, and some people are existing in. So someone, multiple people, not just someone, but this particular content creator has been ribbing him, have been making jokes about some of the clips. Now, as a result, Mr. Sharp has hired high-powered lawyers to put a lawsuit on this dude for copyright infringement and has shut his channel down. That's wrong on multiple levels, utilizing his position and his access to money to do that. Number two, YouTube, what on earth are you doing? That is fair use. It's not like he's literally just playing the show, clips or a whole show with no form of commentary or critique. That is fair use. That is not someone taking someone else's content and just blatantly uploading it. That's where you strike people's pages, videos. That's where you delete people's channels. Not where a big quote unquote influencer, podcaster, etc., can could just come and say, yeah, this person, they're stealing my material, take their channel down. It's disgusting. What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to fair use? Like, come on, this is stupid. Now, not too long ago, Mr. Schaub is talking all this high science about we're gonna do things like men, I'm old school and this and that, and I'm not gonna be suing people. I'm gonna go see them in their face if they're talking trash about me, and we're gonna fight and all this business. Now, depending on what words are said, potentially at the last resort, you might resort to physical violence. But words are words. Powerful are words, letters put together, yeah, to form words, spelling. They have a lot of power. Words reversed around is sword. So words can indeed cut deep. But ultimately, this is a vibration, isn't it? Someone physically does something to you, then you should defend yourself. So we have this situation with Joe Rogan, with the N-word thing, and all of his friends, that little circle that they've got that, just do the circuit on each other's show. They're all up, oh, this was ages ago, black people say oh, this is the crazy thing. When I hear them say, anyone say that, oh, well, black people say it in their songs. So you got the N-word all in the songs, but if someone who's not white says it, there's a problem. This is the logic of that, man. The ones who are guilty scream the loudest. A hint to the wise should be more than sufficient. So yeah, very disappointed with this whole mess. Trustfully, YouTube will sort it the hell out and get this look of YouTuber's channel back. Where's Joe Rogan and Sam Tripoli? Where's Josh Thompson? Where's all these brethren? Where's what's his name? Callan, who's obviously caught in lots of controversy. All of these figures are quote unquote controversial in their own rights. We just do the knowledge, and as they say, let's use the the general consensus. If there's no smoke without fire, okay. So let's see how this all unwraps. Let's see how it all unwraps. People who are in contact with this being need to tell him just to stop it. Stop the stupidness. He's a comedian, and he's gonna sue someone for making fun of him. That makes no sense whatsoever. And I'm not even gonna get into the extramarital affair business and all of that weird stuff that's going on. You know, it's a slippery slope. It's a real slippery slope, and if people, want to start to throw rocks and stuff, then someone might get hit and start to, go on the attack and start to unpick and look into your dirty laundry and bring things up into the mainstream. Yeah, terrible situation. Much success to the Mr. Sharp and the Thick Boy productions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, you gotta sort it out, man. Number one, like, stick to what you say. Your word should be your bond. If you think this person's gonna win and they're gonna do it in this fashion, and then it doesn't go down like that way, you was wrong in it. That's it. In combat sports, anything can happen, especially on the night. You know. Is it the CTE thing that that is littered throughout the comments? I don't know. Is he a bad person? There was elements of him that are quite bad, especially in regards to this situation. We're all trying to make our way in and find our way in this big old world. Trustfully through this experience, this will make him a better person. And we'll see. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.